Listen to Heyman. Undertaker going for a choke slam on Lesnar. Undertaker with one last wicked choke slam. Undertaker cover.
You think you can stand the mic?
Get ready to be slammed into the world of professional wrestling, where the impossible can become possible. Wrestling fans love the excitement and drama of the sport, and sometimes something happens that leaves everyone surprised and talking. In this video, we are counting down the top 10 most shocking moments in wrestling history. Stay tuned and relive some amazing moments. So let's go through them. Starting with Roman Reigns' first feud in 2020, which was against Baron Corbin. For whatever reason, the rivalry really played up Roman's nickname at the time, the Big Dog Corbin, along with Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. They taunted Reigns and even poured dog food on him one time. Well, that was kind of disgusting. It was nothing compared to what Roman did to Baron. Reigns and the Usos teamed up to take on Corbin and Ziggler, and rudely, in a tag team match, whoever lost would be forced to eat buckets of dog food. Well, Corbin ended up losing, so you know what happened next. The Usos and Roman Reigns drenched Baron in the canned food. Yuck. I don't know what WWE actually used, but I would not want to have that stuff dumped on me for sure. I'm sure you're very familiar with the Boogeyman, a wrestler known for his weird appearance and actions. Although he displayed many disgusting acts, one moment stood out as particularly irritatingly gross. During a match against King Booker at WrestleMania 22, the Boogeyman kissed Queen Charmel with a mouthful of worms. Yes, you heard that right. This action by Boogeyman didn't only disgust Queen Charmel but shocked everyone watching, as the fans were not expecting to see worms as part of the show. The Boogeyman's character was already unusual, with his face paint and habit of eating worms. However, this moment took it to a new level of grossness. Now, over the past few years, it has been common practice for fans to hijack the show when there is a natural segment that really doesn't interest them. One of the ways they've done this is by playing with the beach ball in the crowd, and when fans did this at SummerSlam in 2017, this didn't sit well with one particular superstar. Cesaro was in the middle of a match when he was teaming with Sheamus against the duo of Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. In the middle of the match, fans began to play with the beach ball, but this led to Cesaro storming into the crowd, grabbing the ball and tearing it apart. The moment was completely unplanned, and according to Cesaro, he received praise backstage for doing it, as management obviously don't like fans hijacking their show. The wrestling world was devastated in 2005 when Eddie Guerrero suddenly passed away. In the months that followed, his close friend Rey Mysterio received a major push, culminating in a Royal Rumble victory in 2006. This earned him a World Championship match at WrestleMania, a heartwarming moment that honored Eddie's memory. However, the celebration was short-lived. On SmackDown, Randy Orton interrupted Rey's victory speech with a shocking and insensitive comment: "Eddie ain't in heaven, Eddie's in hell." This moment was widely criticized for using Eddie's death to generate heat and sell pay-per-views. Even Randy Orton himself later admitted that he was uncomfortable with the script. It was a painful reminder that sometimes the pursuit of drama and controversy can go too far. Speaking of Eddie, his legacy lives on through his daughter, who also became a wrestler. During his run as a babyface in the WWE, Roman Reigns was often met with a negative response from the fans. Although WWE typically ignored this response, there was one incident in 2016 when Reigns had enough. During a promo segment with Dean Ambrose, the crowd began chanting, "You can't wrestle" at Reigns. Reigns decided to take matters into his own hands and fired back at the crowd with a completely unscripted line. "For all the dudes chanting that I can't wrestle, calm down, relax, take a sip of your beer and shut your mouth." And Reigns' outburst worked, as the crowd toned down the heckling, allowing Reigns and Ambrose to continue the promo without interruption. This incident proved that Reigns was not afraid to stand up for himself against negative fan reactions, even if it meant going off script. There was a serious rivalry between two giant wrestlers, Kane and Undertaker, in 1998, and it was already heated. Immediately Undertaker defeated Kane at WrestleMania 14, he made a promise to finally put an end to their fight. However, Kane and his manager Paul Bearer had a rather shocking and disturbing plan. While Undertaker was in the ring, cutting a promo on an episode of Raw in April 1998, Kane and Paul Bearer went to the gravesite of Undertaker's parents. In a horrific and disrespectful act, they set the grave on fire, showing their contempt for Undertaker. This disgusting and insensitive angle led to an Inferno match at the Unforgiven in Your House PPV in April, where Undertaker would get his revenge by setting Kane on fire. When Sheamus made his highly anticipated return to WWE in 2015, he debuted a new look and a fresh attitude. On his first night back, he shocked the wrestling world by launching a vicious attack on Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. This surprise assault set the stage for a thrilling match between Sheamus and Ziggler at Extreme Rules. But what made this match truly unique was its humiliating stipulation. The loser would be forced to kiss the winner's butt. Neither Sheamus nor Ziggler wanted to suffer the indignity of having to kiss their opponent's behind. But in the end, Sheamus emerged as the loser. However, instead of gracefully accepting his defeat, Sheamus proved to be a sore loser and attacked Ziggler again. To add insult to injury, he even went so far as to grab Ziggler's head and force his face into his sweaty and smelly butt cheek. It seemed like the WWE had it out for Tommy Dreamer, forcing him into a cringe-worthy storyline that made him do some seriously gross stuff. The guy who was once the heart and soul of ECW was reduced to drinking water from the urinal, using his dog's toothbrush to clean his own teeth, and even eating his own hair after a haircut. But that wasn't enough. He also had the nerve to ask a fan for a bite of their hot dog, and when it got dropped on the floor, he still went ahead and ate it. Another fan joined in on the disgusting act, but it was a serious low point for everyone involved. And if that wasn't enough, The Undertaker got dragged into the mess too, spitting his tobacco juice into a cup that Tommy Dreamer willingly drank. The look on Taker's face said it all. This was a whole new level of gross. In 1992, the WWF introduced a new character named Papa Shango, a self-proclaimed magician and voodoo practitioner. No one knew what to expect from the new wrestler, but soon found out when he placed a curse on the Ultimate Warrior during a fight. The Warrior, feeling the effects of the curse, collapsed in pain and had to be rushed backstage by medical personnel. What happened next was shocking. The Warrior began vomiting repeatedly, repeating a famous scene from the movie The Exorcist. Fortunately, the curse only affected the Warrior's mouth and not the other end of his digestive system. Despite the stunning scene, Papa Shango's antics didn't go unnoticed. He would later go on and win 2 awards from the Wrestling Observer newsletter that year: Most Embarrassing Wrestler and Worst Gimmick. I'm not really surprised, given the outrageous and embarrassing nature of the vomiting angle. WrestleMania 30 was a total disaster and more of a nightmare for The Undertaker. I mean, the guy's undefeated streak was legendary, and to see it end like that was just shocking and heartbreaking. But what really took the cake was the concussion he suffered during the match. I heard it was so bad he couldn't even remember what happened. And the way he looked afterwards, man, he was like a zombie or something. I mean, we've seen some rough stuff in wrestling, but this was on another level. The fact that he was rushed to the hospital right after the match, with Vince McMahon himself tagging along, just shows how serious it was. And that footage of him collapsing backstage, forget about it. It's etched in my memory forever. The Undertaker's a legend, no question. But that was just a brutal reminder of the risks these guys take every time they step into the ring. And that's our list of the top 10 most shocking moments in professional wrestling. These moments show why wrestling is so exciting and unpredictable. Whether you're a longtime fan or new to wrestling, these moments are what makes the sport so special. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to enjoy more wrestling videos.